Hello, future millionaire. This is an introduction video for the institutional investors for the next 20 minutes of segment. Last Saturday, I made a video on the beach introducing the institutional investors to different metrics, how you should be measuring the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash volume, and what you should do to benefit from the upcoming 10x for institutional investors. So if you are not one and you are not interested in learning those details, you can skip this part. However, if you are interested in knowing how the institutionals look at things from a different perspective, I welcome you to watch the entirety of the 20 minutes video. It's not as maybe it's not as interesting as some other videos I made, a bit boring. However, I believe facts are facts, and those people who make important decisions for hundreds of millions of dollars, they don't really ride on emotions. Instead, they want no information and facts, and they make the emotional decisions outside of the facts. So they will still be emotional because, like right now, price has gone up 40% since my channeling video. So that probably starting to get noticed by some people, because when you make a channeling video at that moment, the price was at the lowest point. Nobody believed you. The price was, everyone thinks you're just stupid idiot, and the price will continue dropping. Instead, right on the dot, the price turned. And then from that time to now, in the last 2 weeks, we have enjoyed about 44% upside in Bitcoin Cash. This is still early stage. However, 12.5x is no longer possible. Instead, on the day when I made the video for the institutional investors on the beach, 10x was still possible. At this moment, we can do it 8.5x. From today's price, we can do about 8x, which is still not too bad for a 6 months investment horizon. So in any way, you have not missed out anything yet. Instead, you should see this price today at this price is actually safer than back then when Bitcoin Cash was trading at below $600 Aussie. So I can tell you sincerely, as weird as it sounds, a momentum depending investment that is based on capital gains, not on income. For those kind of investments, price increase draws in more buyers. Price decrease repel the buyers. So all the institutions out there, you understand this perfectly. The momentum has started. We are very soon gonna, technically speaking, cross over the Golden Cross again. We are not there yet, but we will be crossing Golden Cross very soon. And then we are going to be trading above the 50 and 200-day moving edge average very soon as well, basically. And then from here onwards, the next resistance is actually 2,000 Aussie dollar. So until 2,000 Aussie dollar, there is absolutely no price resistance. Therefore, it is anyone's guess what this price will do between 800 Aussie dollar to 2,000 Aussie dollars. Some people, like the guy who bet with me on the coffee, he thinks by end of this weekend, on Sunday, we will already see 1,080 Aussie dollar. I think he could be right, really. I really think he could be right. I'm more than happy to lose this one coffee to him. I literally mean it. If he wins this bet, I'm sending him with Bitcoin Cash to an anonymous person, $4 from Australia to another country, which I don't even know where it is. But the fun thing is, the fee I'm going to pay on my network when I send him this $4 will be 0.1 cent, which means when I send him $4, he receives $4. It also means in the moment I press the button and sending out the currency, he will receive the currency immediately on the spot. There's no delay, absolutely no delay. This is the power of the Bitcoin Cash network, and I challenge you, all institutional investors, to give every one of your friends, family, a wallet. Go to bitcoin.com, download the wallet for your favorite phone, and give each other 5 cents, 10 cents as a joke. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you can compare that experience with all other cryptocurrency you're researching right now. Then you're going to see the point, exactly the point, why I put all my money into Bitcoin Cash, why a lot of other institutionals are putting money in, family offices, billionaires. I can't name all the names I know who put money into Bitcoin Cash, but you look at the price action, we're looking at more than $3 billion daily transactions on the different exchanges. It's plenty of liquidity for everybody. And so I even gave a shout out in my video on the beach to CoinFlex. Now I have done a bit more research on CoinFlex. I'm pretty excited. Hope one day I'm gonna meet those people face to face, or maybe after I sold the car, I might even put some part of the money and send it to CoinFlex and see how this system works and document the whole process. Who knows? We'll see. But either way, your job is to do your own research. You are not here to listen to my gospel and believe everything what I say. Instead, you should verify everything what I say. And once you have verified everything I said that is true, then you have to take action. You have to make your plan, take action. If you're not sure how, what kind of action you should take, I have ample experience and with my own family office. Therefore, I'm happy to help you. You can contact me anytime. My phone number and website is all on firstmeal.com. You can find me easily. All right. So institutionals, I see you on the other side of the 20 minutes video. Enjoy the beach with me. Bye. I have made quite a few videos for institutional investors about Bitcoin Cash, and I want to continue this series because I realize there's a lot of institutionals are watching my videos, and of course they don't tell me, but I can see the behavior. There's one thing I always do is every time I'm releasing a video related to the investment part of Bitcoin Cash, I always monitor the impact of the video very carefully. So nothing what I do is random, even though it looks random, but it's not. Because it is so boring for most institutionals to watch another guy in a suit and sitting in front of a green screen and tell him why he needs to buy some coins. Instead, watching my video not only give the institutional guy an excuse to enjoy the surrounding of my environment, and I can tell you the surrounding here is amazing. I'm on the beach. Today is a Saturday, there's nothing else here other than beautiful people around me. So it's a joy, it's absolute joy. That's the reason I keep making videos, because these videos give me so much joy. So, and I tell you what, I just reviewed my footage of the last video. Whoever gets into my camera, because the whole setup looks now pretty professional with the mic and the lighting and everything. So a lot of people try to photobomb my video, which I love. I absolutely enjoy. So whoever see me making video on the beach in the Gold Coast and you want to join in, be my guest. You're not disturbing me at all. I'm happy to react to any situation of your choice. Now, okay, back to Bitcoin Cash. The last week, the price action has been incredible, absolutely incredible. Everything's going exactly as I anticipated. Do you guys remember, institutionals, what I told you about? You should focus on 3 coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. And now, I want to share additional research results with you guys. There's one important thing I want you to look at is volume. Very important. So if you like a trading volume, of course the standard website people go to check the trading volume is actually coinmarketcap.com. However, coinmarketcap.com is not the best possible website to do that, because there's a lot of crypto exchanges that floods the coinmarketcap.com with fake quotes, fake information to get ahead on the ranking. It is to their advantage to be ranked higher than other exchanges, because most of the exchanges are unregulated for crypto. Therefore, anybody can say anything they want. For example, I can sign up with some white label suppliers and create my own crypto exchange, and I can just send the quotes automated to coinmarketcap.com and tell them that on my exchange, $100 billion worth of Bitcoin just changed hands. You can't prove it anyway. So it's impossible for somebody to figure out, am I giving the truth or the lies? And it's so easy to lie through quotes. As an old trader, we call that painting the tape, okay? So in transparent market, people do that. In legal market, people do that. Can you imagine in the illegal markets and a not transparent market, how many people would do it? Because when you do it, you have advantage. And if you realize everyone else also do it, therefore it is actually disadvantage to you if you don't do it. Therefore, you can't trust the data from coinmarketcap.com. This is one pointer I want to give to all institutional investors. So another thing I want you guys to look at is, instead of coinmarketcap.com, look at 2 websites. One is called nomics.com, Nomics.com, nomics.com. Another one is coingecko.com, coin, C-O-I-N, gecko, G-E-C-K-O.com. So both have market ranking based on volume, based on price, and so on. But Nomics, I like Nomics a lot, because Nomics.com is, to put it simply, they know exactly what's going on with marketcap.com, and they address those issues actively because they create their own quotes. they get the raw data and they create their own data points, which is a huge difference between someone just tell you I've done this, or someone give you the result of what they have done and you verify and then you create your own data point based on that. Therefore, it is incredibly important that you have the right information in your face to make the right decision. All right? So as institutional investors, you have to look at beyond skin deep. You have your research team, put them to question your research team. How transparent is the crypto market right now? How many people are scamming you, and how many of those crypto stuff is actually real, that information you can trust? So if you go to nomics.com, you'll realize Bitcoin Cash is as number 3, very often the number 3 most actively traded crypto asset in the world right now. Number 1 is Bitcoin, number 2 is Ethereum, number 3 is already Bitcoin Cash. Then you have the stablecoin Tether, and you have the Binance USD coin. Those don't count for me. Those are other side of the trades. So actual real crypto assets, Bitcoin Cash is number 3. The same thing happens also on CoinGecko.com. Number 3 coin in the world right now, most liquid. Third most liquid coin in the world is actually Bitcoin Cash. And as a research team, I want you to look at something else. This is all my pointers, so you can dig deeper. Look at the valuation of Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin now compared to volume versus outstanding coin. What do I mean by that? On average, on nomics.com, it shows that every day about $3 billion worth of Bitcoin Cash change hand. Back and forth, whatever you call it. So liquidity, basically. And there's only $10 billion worth of Bitcoin Cash in the world, because this is a limited supply coin, just like Bitcoin. So in Bitcoin, however, there's about 30 plus to $40 billion worth of Bitcoin change hand every day, but it's about $800 billion Bitcoin in the world. That means only 5% of the Bitcoin in the world change hand every day, but up to 30% of all the Bitcoin Cash in the world change hand every day. That makes a huge difference, which means when enough people are buying Bitcoin Cash and they all start to evaluate the market like I do and deciding that Bitcoin Cash is worth 10 times as much, what they will do is they will push the price towards that price target, and there's more people able to control the market. So this makes a huge difference. Think about this way: if you want to influence the price in your favor, would you like to participate in a $700, $800 billion market or in a $10 billion market? Consider you have limited amount of resources. You are not a central bank. Let's imagine you borrow $1 billion and you say you pay 3% on the $1 billion over 1 year. That's your borrowing cost. And now you want to do the most out of that money you borrowed. If it's me, if I have the ability to borrow $1 billion, I will take a small leverage bet on Bitcoin Cash long position, and at the same time secure myself by taking on a short position in BTC. This way, I'm just betting on the ratio change between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, instead of betting outright on the price of Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. Think about this way: what can you lose? Statistically, it is inconceivable that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash price ratio will remain in the 70-to-1 ratio. Statistically, should be somewhere between 10-to-1 to 5-to-1. So you have a upside potential from 70-to-1 all the way up to 5-to-1. That's more than 10x. This is, I believe, also where the 10x comes from. So you have a safe bet here if you short BTC, long BCH. And I know what you're thinking as institutionals. That didn't work out too well since the inception of the market. That is true. However, please understand, what happened in the last 3 years doesn't mean the same thing will happen in the next 3 years. In fact, all the bad information or the bad potential news about Bitcoin Cash is already out of the market, because there will be never another split from Bitcoin Cash. Trust me on that. There's no one left who still believe a split or any kind of infighting is any good for Bitcoin Cash. And number 2, more important, is Bitcoin Cash is literally the only coin that survived multiple civil wars and still standing, and is still the number 3 coin in the world. Think about this way: it's like a virus that is so resilient that you throw whatever you can at this thing and you can't kill it. And what in biological evolution, in natural evolution, whenever you can't kill something, that thing gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So literally speaking, Bitcoin Cash is the only coin in the world right now that has withstood all the negative news, all the negative sentiments, all the negative impact from all different sides, and survived because Satoshi Nakamoto designed the coin so well. Because by basic design, whenever people disagree, you are allowed to split your coin. However, after you split the coin, you have the task of convincing the miners and the users to stick to your coin. This is the problem in Bitcoin SV. I truly don't care right now who claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. I can tell you this, the universe is Satoshi Nakamoto. And in this case, I will be the last person to tell you who exactly should represent as a human being the idea of Satoshi Nakamoto. I say everybody is one. If you buy Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or even Bitcoin SV, you are believing in the idea of Satoshi Nakamoto. Therefore, you become part of Satoshi Nakamoto. This is the spirit of the universe. And therefore, if only a single person lay claim to this spirit, it's like saying someone comes along and say he is the new Jesus Christ. There is no new Jesus Christ, trust me. There is only the God you believe in, and the spirit you believe in, the universe you believe in, and that's it. This is not personified by a single entity. It shouldn't be. How can it be? It makes no sense, right? Therefore, Bitcoin Cash represents the purest spirit of Satoshi Nakamoto, and therefore, we have the blessing of the universe to be the leading coin among all coins in the world. And another news I want to share with you guys is that, SEC, the Security Exchange Commission in the United States, is currently slowly but surely starting to crack down on all the altcoins. What do I mean by altcoins? Are those ICOs, Ethereum tokens, or the ERC20 stuff, all the staking things that's based on some funny tokens? They're all unregistered securities. And this is another reason after I studied Bitcoin landscape and crypto landscape for 3 years plus, at the end I realized in the long term, most of the cryptos won't survive because legally they can't survive. It was even back then in 2017 was obvious to me sooner or later the legal framework will catch up to the scammers and the hucksters in the crypto space, and those people will get squashed. What will happen is once you lose the base, the legal foundation, then suddenly your asset, so-called asset, it suddenly will become worthless overnight. So don't let that happen to you. An illegal security is an illegal security is an illegal security. It doesn't matter how many lipsticks you put on it, how many makeups you put on it, how many spokesperson you put on it. It is still illegal. Illegal is illegal, okay? Therefore, do not ever invest in any asset in crypto space when you can't even understand the legality of the asset. And this is the beautiful part about Bitcoin Cash. Because Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin share exactly the same heritage, therefore whatever legal framework applies to Bitcoin BTC also apply automatically to Bitcoin BCH. Automatically, they are joined at the hip, they are come from the same source, and it is impossible to separate them. And therefore, also the mining companies wouldn't want you to separate them because after all the mining machines that's been invested in the space, billions and billions of dollars spent on mining Bitcoin itself, think about it, if you can't mine Bitcoin Cash because it's declared illegal, and if Bitcoin loses its ability to scale, then all the billions of dollars of investment will go to waste. Therefore, you have a natural incentive that all the mining company who's mining BTC right now will sooner or later discover that, hey, we can make just as much money, if not more money, on Bitcoin Cash network. And therefore, they don't care what they mine. Since Bitcoin Cash is just as liquid as Bitcoin a few years ago. Don't forget this. We're basically time traveling backwards. This is almost like, for institutionals, it's been like you missed the boat, the first one. But luckily the boat turned around and sent a lifeboat back to get you. But this time, if you say, I refuse to get on a lifeboat, instead I want to wait for the actual boat to come back, to come for me, it's like asking the ocean to go backwards. It doesn't work that way. You should be glad that we have another chance at multiply our networks at such a speed like in 2011, 2012 from Bitcoin space. Bitcoin Cash is basically your very last chance to get on board on the greatest asset class of all time at early stage. Buying Bitcoin Cash today is no different than as buying real estate in Australia 300 years ago. It is virtually no difference. Absolutely no difference. This is the exact same thing. The buying land title in Australia 300 years ago or buying Bitcoin Cash today is the same thing. The only difference I can tell you is this. You buy Bitcoin Cash today, the outcome of your land ownership in the virtual currency of Bitcoin Cash and have the virtual title to the stakes of Bitcoin Cash ecosystem, the positive outcome will come to you within much shorter period of time than natural real estate. So we're looking at exponential growth like a bacteria or viruses. So basically within 2 years, 3 years, you can see absolute exponential growth in usage. And I already can see that in real life. I'm going to make another separate video about that. The widespread usage of Bitcoin Cash is starting to go exponential. We're at the early stage of going exponential. Don't wait until it's already gone exponential, because by then you as institutional investors, your hundreds of millions of dollars will suddenly become worth less and less and less in this space. Just imagine if $100 million today, you invest in BTC today, would you make a huge impact? Maybe a little bit, not much. But if the same $100 million go into Bitcoin space, in Bitcoin Cash branch, you're going to make a huge impact. Do not underestimate this impact, because sooner or later, BTC and BCH will become one-to-one. Bitcoin Cash institutional investors. And oh yeah, one reason you shouldn't come and live at Surfers Paradise, because do you see the shadow? Let me switch on the light. Okay, now it's a bit better. We're in the shadow of those tall buildings right now. In the afternoon, in Surfers, there's too much shadow. So everything is dark and cold and it's not pleasant. Therefore, I would never buy property in Surfers, ever. If you want to buy property in Surfers, be my guest. You know, during the crash 10 years ago, after financial crisis 2008, 2 years later after that, the real estate price in Gold Coast completely crashed. That was the time I came to Gold Coast, because for sale sign was everywhere. I could have bought apartments here in Surfers for less than $90,000 per apartment, and nobody wanted them. I went to auctions where they were selling hotel rooms for $40,000 a hotel room. That was renting out in the high season for $300 a night. Yeah, I know. Nobody wanted them. They were selling them in 20-room batches, 30-room batches. It was fun to watch, but ultimately I didn't buy those because those are not good long-term holdings. So if someone like me who has a lot of experience in real estate doesn't even buy it at the bottom of the market, I definitely wouldn't be buying at the top of the market right now. Therefore, stay away from all these apartments. I tell you guys, that's the worst thing you can do, buy those apartments. But Broad Beach, different story. High-end apartments in Broad Beach, Hedges Avenue, totally different ballgame. Don't get it mixed up. Very different story. Okay, so back to Bitcoin Cash. Now, I want you to know that currently, thanks to a lot of early investors in crypto, in Bitcoin Cash, particularly people like Roger Ver and others, they have created an ecosystem that's currently very much in a self-sustaining mode now. Last night, I checked a little bit about the latest trading volume in Bitcoin Cash space. It turns out one of the most liquid market right now worldwide for Bitcoin Cash is an exchange called CoinFlex. And I have to say, because I do other kind of fundamental research, I'm not a trader, therefore I didn't really pay attention to CoinFlex until now. So after 5 minutes research, I realized CoinFlex is an amazing platform, but I don't know anybody from this platform. I don't know what's the relationship between them and other people in the crypto space. At this moment, it looks like there's only one man behind it, a young man from US. And if you're watching me, hi. So maybe we can do an interview or something if I'm in Hong Kong, ever. Hong Kong is a tough place to be right now. All right, just want to shout out to CoinFlex. Thanks for providing liquidity to institutional investors in Bitcoin Cash space. This is another reason I want to cover this, because this section is about institutionals, and I want the institutionals to have the quickest shortcut to all the knowledge they can accumulate in the Bitcoin Cash space, so they can make a high confidence, high probability bet on the price of Bitcoin Cash. So everything I'm telling you guys in the institutional investment space, you can verify every single thing I'm telling you. I'm not pulling on your emotions. I'm just sharing simple facts. And those facts are mostly not shared among the most crypto people, because most crypto people just want to, how do I say this, pump and dump. So be very careful with pump and dump. And institutionals definitely don't participate in pump and dump. So for them, the number one thing they check about is always how secure is the whole system, how legit is the system, and how much money they can put into the system without getting stuck. So at this moment, for people in the high net worth individual section, something like from $1 million to $10 million range, you definitely can find your home 100% in Bitcoin Cash space. $30 million into Bitcoin Cash is doable, easy. But for people in the ultra high net worth individual range, let's say from $30 million US onwards to $1 billion, yes, you have difficulty. But I don't think this is the difficulty you are afraid of. Instead, you can do this, to put just 5%. Put 5% of your $100 million into Bitcoin Cash and test the water. See if everything works out. If it doesn't work out, never mind, leave it. Don't take leverage. If it works out, 6 months later, price has gone up, you have done more research, you understand the situation better, put another 5% into Bitcoin Cash. I know the price will be higher, but that's the nature of the space. So do that until you reach maybe 25%. That means over a period of 5 trenches. And 5 trenches can happen over a period of 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. Myself, it took me more than 3 years to finishing the process. So the car is the last one, literally. And so I won't blame you if you take 3 to 4 years to get into this space, because this space is forever. Bitcoin is permanent. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, all this store of value coins, they're forever. They're absolutely permanent.